And we are live here at Howard News Network. Welcome to the channel. Welcome back, everybody. This is the 2000 presidential debate between two who are very unlikely tonight. We have the Democratic candidate Eleanor Templeton and, of course, Lee Zeldin, the former presidential. You're probably wondering what the hell is Owen doing here, or better yet known as Lee Zeldin. Well, we had no reason why. We had no answer why. Why is the vice president of a major political, or a second major political party here tonight is sending a presidential candidate? Unfortunately, we don't have the answer for you, but one thing we can tell you with certainty, these candidates are very unlikely to be president. But nonetheless, we're going to let them debate it out on policy, on questionnaires. It does have a little bit of a bias leaning towards one candidate and the other, but we are going to even that questionnaire out with more neutral stances question, because the person who submitted these questions, they did have a little bit of a bias taint, so we are going to neutralize them where necessary. Anyway, welcome to the 2000 presidential debate between Templeton and Zeldin. Would you like to introduce yourself, Zeldin?
Yeah, I'm the Reform VP candidate. And if you saw the interview and responded to the poll, we crushed the last debate. And now Templeton wants another debate, and we plan to crush Templeton again. And hopefully.
Okay, I got bored. All right, Templeton, you go ahead, introduce yourself.
Well, Lee Zeldin said that he crushed me at the debate, but it didn't matter because the policies and the platforms are the ones that should be at the debate. Now, you may hate me, you may disagree with me, you can cajole me, or you can harass me if you want, but it doesn't matter because I am ready to govern for all of you. Even if you don't vote for me, I will work hard to repay your trust.
Okay, and thank you for that, Templeton. So now we move on forward to the questionnaire part of tonight's video, but I want to start off lightweight right now. I'm going to ask you about the poll. So according to the poll, now that a lot of people have been able to watch the previous town hall, Zeldin, was you, Templeton, have made a surprise appearance. You burst through the doors and you just said, "Put me on, bitch. I'm about to debate this little boy." And lo and behold, you debated him. And tonight, Lee Zeldin was caught off guard. He said, "I want a proper debate." So we're doing a proper debate tonight. So, according to the poll by Tower News Network last night, we asked the question to the American people and American viewers on Tower News Network, who won the debate? Overwhelmingly, 71% chose Lee Zeldin and said that he won the debate last night, whereas only 29% believe that Eleanor Templeton won that debate. However, when we asked whose town hall was more informative, was it Lee Zeldin or was it Templeton? And almost evenly, you guys are evenly matched. Templeton is at 48%, and Lee Zeldin is at only 52%, because the American people see Templeton as more entertaining when it comes to a persona, whereas Lee Zeldin falls flat in terms of charisma. But tonight, we ask you the question for both of you. What do you think about these polls? And before we do say that, to announce the rules to everybody, 1 minute per candidate response, and 30-second rebuttal. That is the response that we're going with. That is the rule both candidates agree for tonight. So, Lee Zeldin, you respond first. You have 1 minute on the clock, starting now.
Well, basically, yeah, I think the polls was basically shown that I was a better debater than Templeton because Templeton lied and literally openly supported Zoophiles, um supported Zoophiles openly, and it was a crazy debate. In the interview, I understand people would rather see a crazy person than um a normal old person than a crazy person. But that's really it. I think the polls really showed who was a better debater, and that's realistically it.
Okay, and is that your response?
Yeah.
Okay. Templeton, your turn.
Well, well, the polls said that he's a better debater than I am, but the town halls are equally different. And let me say this that although the town halls are different, the reason why he crushed me at the debate because he rambles and rants about me. Now, let me ask you something. Would you rather have a president who rambles and rants a lot against all opponents? Or would you rather choose a uniter in chief and not a divider in chief? That is what is at stake, not just in this debate, but in this election as well.
Can we
And
rebuttal?
hold on. And you want a rebuttal? 30 seconds on the clock. Go ahead.
Okay. Well, Templeton, the people picked not because I rambled. It's because you openly supported zoophiles. You was almost crashing out, and that's mostly why no one really thought you won the debate because you was just mostly not really debating as much. You was just saying random things. Like you said, you supported zoophiles multiple times, and when you got explained about what zoophile is, you still openly supported it. You supported marrying a duck. You supported having my baby, and again a minor. So we think you're a pedophile, and you did all that in the debate, and you still think I rambled, and that's
Okay, and that is 30 seconds. Eleanor Templeton, would you like to rebuke?
Yes, yes. Well, the reason of the matter is because he doesn't have a concrete plan on improving your life. And so he crushed me at the debate because he rambles and rants a lot. And that is not the character for a commander in chief. What the commander in chief needs is compassion and charity towards one another.
Okay, and do you want a rebuttal, Zeldin, or is it safe to move on?
sure. I'll rebuttal. Templeton, we have a plan, and that actually makes more sense than yours. And you say, um, Lidl, well, technically, Commander in Chief. I'm the VP candidate. I am speaking of John Joseph's campaign. We will do a lot. We will electoral reform and more. Plus, we want to end the uniparty. But you are a map. You are a zoophile. You want to marry a duck. You want to have a child to.
Okay, and Templeton, would you like to rebuttal?
Yes, he may have some platforms like some electoral reform and such, but he shouted at me. And that is not the character for a commander in chief. He wants to prove himself to the American people. Well, then why is he trailing behind any Democrat or Republican candidate? That is what is wrong in in that campaign.
Republican?
Okay, and Lee Zeldin, would you like to rebuttal? And then we're going to move on.
Yeah, final. See, you said Republican, and you again said Commander in Chief. You think I'm a Republican running. I think you really don't have any sense of what's going on. The only thing you can say is, oh my god, it's a duck. Oh my god, it's a child. And then you run to it. Like, what? I'm done.
Okay, I guess I got bored of listening to Owen. We're going to move onwards with the next question. So let's go ahead and let's take a look at the next question here. This is a submission, not by me. These questions were not created by me, but this was rather created by somebody who is on a trial basis working for Terrorist Network. So the first question that they have asked is, Eleanor, why do you want to have intimate relations with a duck?
I told you something that I am a zoophile. What I mean is rest to support rescue, rehabilitation, and rehoming of abused and neglected animals. That's what a real zoophile is. Now, saying that I have intimations with a duck, that is a conspiracy theory whatsoever. That is distracting from the real issues at hand.
That's a lie. Because the last time we debated, you said you would marry the duck. Plus, you know what a zoophile is. A zoophile means, and I posted it in campaigning, is you want to have relationships with your animals, aka do the devil's tango with it, and you still say you still support it, and you say you're a zoophile, so you are attracted to your duck.
Okay, and Templeton, would you like to have 30 seconds to rebuke?
I am sorry, Lee Zeldin, but I regret in saying that. I am opposed to zoophilia. What I am supporting is rescue, rehabilitation, and rehoming of abused and neglected animals. I completely apologize for what I have said,
So you
and
won't
I
marry
take
Duck,
full
who's in the audience.
responsibility. I will take full responsibility on any criticism that I would get.
So you won't marry Duck, like you said in the other interview, who's in the audience right now. Will you still marry Duck? It's a yes or no. I guess that's a
Okay, so the 30-second rebuttal is over. Templeton, would you like to respond or would you like us to move on?
Well, I guess it's really time to move on with the next question because that question is distracting from it. And I am sorry, Lee Zeldin, if I
start
offend you,
digging your
but
butt chin.
I completely oppose zoophilia. So let's move on to the next question, please.
Okay, so we have the next question. I'm going to take it from the audience because I do feel like this question is pretty interesting. And we're going to turn it toward Templeton. All right, Templeton, you're going to be the one answering this specific question from the audience. All right. Okay, let me see if I
What
can
is
find
it?
it.
What is it, please?
Well, give me a second. Damn it. Uh, okay, so it's actually by Duck himself. We know that he was the center of the conversation. It felt like his voice should be heard in this instant. So, Mr. Eldon, Mrs. Templeton, Doc wants to know your fiance wants to know, Doc. Miss, they want to know: do you believe that Lee Zeldin had the birth certificate, and do you believe that they are qualified in the Constitution to be 35 years or older in order to be president of the United States? If God forbid, John Supple becomes incapacitated sometime during the tenure, do you believe that Lee Zeldin had the stamina and the age to qualify to become the next president of the United States? God forbid something were to happen to the president if reform wins.
If reform wins and John Stoffer is incapacitated, I think it will all come down to the Senate and the House rules. And if Lee Zeldin has the opportunity to accept the position of the presidency, then it should be according to the rules stated by the Constitution of the United States. If I would be incapacitated, then the vice president shall take course on this matter.
Okay, but you didn't answer the question. They want to
Yes,
know: do you
Nancy.
believe that Lee Zeldin is 35 years or older of age in order to qualify to be president?
I think he will be qualified. I think he will be qualified. I think he has the edge of
Yes, Nancy.
communicating with people, but it will be determined on the Senate rules and the House
Start
rules. If the
digging your
Senate
butt
What do
chin.
you mean
approves,
by think?
if the Senate
What do you mean by think?
what
What do you mean
I
by the
think
word think? You said
it's
you
not.
think he's 35 years old. So what are you saying? Is he or is he
I
not?
think
No.
I think I think in the character he might, but when speaking to this voice, I think not.
Okay, would you like to expand on that? Do you think he sounds like Alvin the Chipmunk?
That's a little mean, chat.
Maybe yes, but I think if he has the ability, the courage, and the stamina to function the role of the president, then I don't see anything else other than follow the rules and stated in the Constitution.
Okay, and do you believe that if you are saying that you believe that he can function as president, this is the same guy who literally called and on the campaign trail to have your nutsack cut off. Is that still presidential in your eye? Do you think that castrating people or political opponents is classified as quote unquote presidential according to you? But according to what you're saying, is that well, whatever Lee Zeldin said is like you
Well, castrate.
that?
Well, I think castrating political opponents for his personal gain is not qualifications to be
It's
president of
not
the
personal
United
gain,
States.
it's to save the children.
But castrating political opponents is not presidential. You need to have a plan. You need to have a policy. You need to you need to have policy. You need to
Digging
have
in
a
your
plan.
butt, don't you, twin?
Hold on. Deldin, stop it with that background noise. You're gonna get the video taken down because that's copyrighted music. Don't play it.
Fine. I thought start digging you butt when it's not copyrighted. Okay.
Well, I'm not taking any risks here, okay? This is YouTube. Would you like to rebuttal?
I'm okay.
Okay, moving on to the next question then. Okay, so Owen, why do you think Eleanor says, quote, wait all the time?
Because she really doesn't have anything else to say. She even says wait to nobody. I think that's just what she says all the time. She probably when she preparing to speak, she goes wait, 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 wait all the time. She says wait to everyone, which I believe she wouldn't even say that to her pet. She would probably nah. She would probably say I believe chat. She would be in any debate. She says wait. You can I believe almost every second. But it's kind of funny when you just hear it, wait, 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 and so.
Okay, I got bored of that response. Moving on to Eleanor Templeton. Would you like to rebuttal?
Yes, and I have to say that a few times is because they keep on distracting me and they prevent me from speaking about the policies and the platforms that has been made. So I said that all the time because they cannot understand the situation. They have to listen first before they have to respond.
So even nothing has to wait to response basically.
You guys are gonna become more entertaining. I'm bored as fuck here.
We
Anyway, we're gonna move on to the next question here. How will you lower the national debt? We're gonna have Templeton first with the 1 cent economic policy. We're gonna have you go first. You're gonna have 1 minute on the clock. Go.
Well, to lower the national debt, we need to lower down the interest rate, but it is high time for the billionaires and the wealthy to pay their fair share of taxes. And at the same time, we have to support small and medium businesses. And we are going to cut taxes on those who made less than $400,000 per month, and we're going to raise the minimum wage from $5 to $15 an hour.
Would you like to rebuttal, Deldin? Okay, I guess Deldin has no response today, so we're gonna move on forward. I guess he exit out because he was afraid of how to handle the national debt. So we're going to move on with the next question here. Templeton, we're going to have to ask you the next question. Is death row something that you support?
Can you please repeat the question?
Yes. Is death row something that you yourself support?
I oppose death penalty because prisons should be served as rehabilitation, not something for punitive justice. So putting it on death row, that is against capital punishment. What the maximum should be is lifetime in prison without the possibility of parole.
Okay, and Owen, we are asking the question because you decided to pop out. We wanted to ask you the question here. Do you yourself find yourself supporting death row? And if so, would you like to explain your stance?
I would only support death row if the criminal has done a lot of bad stuff, so like pedophiles and stuff, or like very mortal. If it's just light cases like stealing a candy bar or all those things, no, not the death penalty.
Okay, now with that being said, I want to ask you a question, Owen. Zeldin. You've mentioned many times on the campaign trail that you plan to cut off Eleanor Templeton Ballsack, and you said in that quote, "He's a predator and he wants to have my baby." So, with that being said, you just mentioned that you believe that being on death row accounts for pedophiles to be considered criminals in the eyes of your own eyes if you were the president or the vice president of the United States. Are you essentially saying that you want Templeton to face death row?
If Templeton is found out to be a pedophile, yeah, any pedophile should not really exist. They are attracted to minors, which is very weird.
Okay, Eleanor Templeton, would you like to rebuttal? You have 30 seconds.
While saying that if I would be on death row, I would die. And that is punitive justice. What I am advocating for is rehabilitative justice. So if I were a
I'm saying if you're
pedophile,
on the
I would serve lifetime. I would rather serve lifetime in prison. And if I am
no, you can
made
serve
of good
life in
character,
hell.
I if I would if I could make some good character, then why not? I will have to make some parole.
Why
Okay,
would you need
would
to?
you like to rebuttal?
Yeah, why would you have to be poor if you're a pedophile? Pedophiles, one, should born in hell. Okay, if you like minors and you want to do stuff to minors, you should be straight to hell. That's where you're serving your sentence. Hell, not the jail cell, which is even worse. But no, hell is even worse. So you'll be serving your entire life in hell, straight to it.
And Eleanor Templeton, would you like to respond to being called that you belong in hell?
That is completely unacceptable, Mr. Zeldin.
I'm
And
saying for
let
pedophiles.
let let's be honest here. Let's be honest here. Those who go to hell, those are the corrupt people, those are the traitors, those who committed treason against the country, those who
What about
made
models?
murder, who made murder.
What
So if pedophiles were to be condemned to hell, then they would have to suffer even a lot. And that is completely against the
so you
moral and ethical
supporting
reasons.
pedophiles?
No, I am not.
But you said they're not criminals. You just said it. And you're not gonna answer the question. Okay. So beautiful.
Well, I will not go into answer the question because you called me. You want to go straight me into. You want to
I
go
said
straight into hell.
pedophiles. I
You
said
said it.
pedophiles. You
You
said, oh
said it.
no,
You
the
said you
pedophiles are
want to
not
go
good.
straight me. You said
Buddy,
you want to
calm
go
down a
straight
bit.
me to
Calm
hell.
down. I thought you
You are
changed,
you.
buddy. Don't
You
get
should be
mommy
ashamed of
angry.
yourself.
Buddy,
You should be
buddy,
ashamed of
buddy.
yourself.
No,
You
you
should be
should be
ashamed of
ashamed.
yourself.
You,
You should
but
be ashamed of yourself.
you support pedophilia, and you said they shouldn't go to hell. They should serve a life sentence. You said if I was a pedophile, I should have I should live a life sentence. So you support pedophiles not going to hell. You think they don't gonna go to
You
hell? You
should
think
be
they're gonna go to
ashamed of
heaven?
yourself. You
So I
should be
should be the
ashamed of
same as
yourself.
telling
You
pedophiles to
should
go
be
in hell.
ashamed.
Does that make sense? Does that make
You
sense,
should be ashamed.
Templeton?
You should be ashamed of yourself because you said
How am I?
you want to go my soul into hell.
I'm saying pedophile. So you basically okay. So you claiming yourself as a
You
pedophile?
should be ashamed of yourself. You should be
So I
ashamed of
should be
yourself.
ashamed of myself because I support pedophiles going to hell. You think pedophiles go to heaven?
You should be ashamed of yourself for calling me a hell, a liar, or
I
something.
said pedophiles will go to hell. You said, oh, you saying I'm going to hell. So you just saying you are a pedophile. Am I correct? You just said that. You said, oh, pedophiles shouldn't go to hell. Hell is very worse. That's only for criminals and mortals. A pedophile is a criminal. They want to do weird stuff with kids. Like you supporting that. And you
I'm
said
sorry.
you
I'm
you
sorry.
also said
I'm sorry. I'm sorry,
you
Lee Zeldin. I'm sorry. I'm sorry,
oh
Mr.
go to your
Zeldin, but
apologize
I
train.
condemn. I'm sorry, Lee Zeldin, but
So
I
you can you
condemn
tell us
pedophilia.
today in the
And I
debate
am not.
you support pedophiles going to hell.
No, I
But
am not.
so
No, I
you
am not.
don't want pedophiles to go to hell. So you want pedophiles to go to heaven.
I think pedophiles deserve justice. I think pedophiles deserve justice. And you said you want to go straight me into hell. Is that correct,
No.
Mr. Zeldin?
So you claiming you are basically.
You s- you said to yourself that you want to go straight me into hell.
No,
You
I
want
said
me.
pedos. Difference.
You said it before. You said it. You said it. You said, "Oh, Eleanor Templeton deserves to go to hell because she supports a
If
pedophile."
you caught
What
doing
kind
weird
of
stuff
a
to
person
children,
are
yes.
you? What kind of a person would do such things?
So supporting justice for children is wrong, basically.
Tarot, could we please move on?
Oh yeah,
Okay, so
you don't want to talk
we're
about
gonna
it.
move on for right now. But if the counters want to rebring this topic up at a later time, feel free to do so. All right. So Congo wants to know for the fourth time Eleanor, will she be committed to a family life with Owen after carrying his offspring? Would you like to answer the question?
I would be committed to family life with Owen for that matter. And Congo, thank you for that question.
Hey yo.
But I answered your question and I will say it again. I will be committed to family life with Owen if after
Ew.
carrying his offspring.
Owen,
I'm a
Mr.
child.
Zeldin,
Owen, how old are you?
IOL, I can't say.
Okay, can you give us a range?
Like teenager. And Templeton IOL is in the 20s, about to be 30. So
Well, there we have it, folks. Anyway, we're going to move on forward to the next question. Okay, so next question. We have here, Owen, do you agree with Eleanor calling you a little boy?
well, I am little compared to him. He's about to be 40 years old in I think about 2 years. I don't know, but I really think I am little compared to a 30-year-old. I am in teenager range compared to in my late 20s supporting pedophiles and saying pedophiles shouldn't die.
Okay, and Templeton, would you like to answer that question, or even better yet, rebut it or rebuttal?
well, Mr. Zeldin, I am sorry if I have to offend you, but I do not support pedophilia or
Templeton,
anything that will harass with children. Mr. Zeldin, we agreed that we should respect with one another.
Taylor, change Templeton's name to Duck Level, please. If you're doing
No,
this.
no, no,
Yes,
no, no,
yes,
no, no,
yes.
no, no, Mr. Zeldin, Mr. Zeldin,
Do it.
Mr.
Taylor, please,
Zeldin,
please.
Mr. Zeldin, Mr. Zeldin.
No,
No,
no.
Tarot. Can we move on to the next question?
Yes,
Oh,
we,
oh, oh,
yes, we
oh.
And
wow.
we have to stop him from distracting.
Destructing. What you mean?
Okay, so we actually have some brand new whistleblower reports coming out from Josh Gordon, who said, "Why do I have reports of both EAT, which is known as Eleanor Templeton, and Lee Zeldin at the Diddy party? Why did you guys both find your names on Diddy's list?"
Who's responding first again?
The question is late on the screen, buddy. Can you not read, or are you blind?
No, no. I'm just saying. I'm just asking who's gonna do the question first. I'm sorry.
What I
I'll
want to
just do it.
you, Zeldin, why are you on the Diddy list?
Man, I wasn't really on it. She bought me there without my phone in.
So who brought you?
Templeton.
And why would you say Templeton brought you? Did she promise you something?
She forced me.
And how does she do that? Would you like to explain in high detail?
She went to my house in the window eating I said in general duck pivots and was staring at me and then went inside, went through the closet, looked at me, and then I tried to then I went back and then she grabbed me and said, "Come with all or I have to eat duck pivots," and I really didn't want to do it. So I was forced to go. And she forced me to say yes, master. And she forced me to dig my butt. A lot of bad things happen.
What the fuck are you saying? You just sound like you sound like a little child just coming up with random words. But okay, sure, we'll go with that. Templeton, would you like to explain what happened on that fateful night? According to Owen, he accused you of forcing him to go to Diddy party. And would you also like to explain why you're on the Diddy's list?
Well, let me tell to Mr. Zeldin that even though I am not on Diddy's list, even if I am on Diddy's list, even if I am on Epstein's list, I would gladly release them for the sake of accountability and
Yes,
transparency.
master.
However, what Mr. Zeldin had proved is a distraction. It's a
I'm doing what you want
distraction
me to do.
from a platform. It's a distraction from a platform of
Yes, master.
accountability, transparency, and honesty and integrity. That is something needed for a commander in chief. Mr. Zeldin here is crying like a child, and that is unacceptable for the
Because you made me go
job
to a
as
Diddy party.
presidency of the United States.
You forced me to
So,
go to a Diddy party and eat duck pivots with you.
Mr. Zeldin, I am asking
You
here.
went through my window.
Mr. Zeldin, I am asking here. Tarot, I answered your question, and it is up to the American people to choose whether that would serve as a deterrent or would they have an open mind and an open heart in voting for me because I believe that accountability and transparency.
Okay, you keep saying some random fancy words. What we really want to know is what happened on that night. Can you give us a full account to either exonerate you or implicate you? Would you like to explain what happened on that night according to what Owen said?
I was not there on that night. I have watched everything and I exposed them my writings and I made a fictional as an essay highlighting the tragedy of P. Diddy. And I completely denounce him because although his music is generational, his behavior is completely unacceptable.
So do you think that if If you're saying that his music is generational, do you say that when he lathered you up in baby oil, do you consider that generational as well?
No, Tarot, and I completely denounce Diddy at all costs.
What if Diddy tried to approach you and touch your beautiful hair and said, "Come on, sweet baby, I got some chocolate for you"? What would you say?
I would gladly refuse him. I would gladly refuse him. He's a predator. He's a pedophile.
Okay, but what would you do if Epstein did it? But he
Then
said,
I would glad.
"What?" He asked you
Then
for white chocolate.
well, I would denounce Epstein as well. He's a pedophile. He's a predator. He's a convictor of child
Finally, back.
abuse.
Okay, and so, Owen, would you like to rebuttal?
She lied about everything. She accepted the chocolates chat. Both of them.
Okay, and Templeton, would you like to rebuttal that before we move on?
He lied about everything. The truth of the matter is,
You made me watch.
I have never, and will
You
never
said I had to say
be.
yes, master, to you.
No. Can we move on to
You
the next
did,
question,
master.
please? No, Mr. Zeldin. Please move to the next question.
You did right after you said to go to the party. You said I had to do that to be a good boy.
That's a lie. That's a lie. Mr. I'm tired. Next question, please.
Okay, moving on to the next question. This is a question for Owen. By Congo. Will you release the John files? Whatever the hell that is, will you release the John files?
If we talking about John F. Kennedy, yes, I will release the JFK files, the Martin Luther King files, the Epstein files. I'll release everything, and it's I don't know what the John files, unless you're talking about JFK or that. But I will release any files and make it public, all of it.
Okay, and who do you think is the real killer of JFK?
Well, I think Lee Harvey Oswald and maybe some parts of the CIA, because it makes sense.
Okay, and do you think that maybe anybody else could be actually involved in the murder of JFK, or you think it's only those two?
You never know. When we release the files, everyone, we will see every single part, and we will investigate, and anything we find, like we will find what actually happened and release it to everything, including that files.
Would you find yourself to be the one who killed JFK, or do you believe Templeton did it?
I'm not. Oh, even if you count Lee Zeldin's age, that happened in the 1960s. I wasn't even born yet. It was not physically possible. Maybe Templeton. Or Christine Haley. You never know.
Okay, and so we just got a very special report coming from Tower News Network. It just happened at this moment. As of the debate, the FBI decided to raid Eleanor Templeton's house and found thousands of bottles of baby oil. Would you have any comment, Eleanor Templeton? Why do you think the FBI right now decided it was a good time to raid your home while you were at debate and they found bottles of baby oil? Would you like to explain why you have 1,000 bottles of baby oil? What were you using those for?
Well, to be honest, I have never been involved in the files. But to answer the question from Lee Zeldin, I will release the John F. Kennedy files. And Lee Harvey Oswald is the one who
Now talk
is
about the
behind it.
question.
Now, regarding the FBI raiding to the thousands of baby oil, that is another smear tactic to sway the American people not to vote for me. And that is
Can I respond?
something. And that is something the American people
Sure.
would know.
I went to his house, and it is very true. 1,000 baby oils. You think Diddy parties is worse, but every time after Florida, there's the Templeton parties. I seen a lot.
Fucking wrong. Okay. So, Art wants to know, Templeton, did you kill Martin Luther King, JFK, or RFK Jr.?
No, I have not.
She did. I saw her with the weapon.
And what weapon was that?
I have not.
So for RFK Jr., I saw a sniper with sugar in it for some reason. I don't know why, but yeah.
Okay.
Also, she has all the files and she even took some files from the Attorney General's office of Florida, I believe, in her bathroom.
Okay, and Eleanor Templeton, would you like to answer any of these crazy accusations, or would you like to move on?
Those crazy accusations distract from the point of
I
this
went into
debate.
your house
To
and told
answer
you.
policies, to answer policies and platforms. Those crazy accusations, they will distract from what matters in this election. So to answer the questions regarding on those crazy accusations against me, they want to convince people not to vote for me, because if I would not be voted, I would be disgraced and I would be sent to jail. Something Lee Zeldin would proudly say that, because I
Because
deserve
you
to go
forced
to
me to
hell.
show all this stuff and
Because
said you tell me I would be a good boy
Mr.
if I didn't tell
Zeldin,
anyone.
Mr. Zeldin, will you be happy if I
Yes,
will
master.
be in jail? Will you be happy if I will be in jail? Will you be happy if I would be a rotten corpse and die and go straight into
It will
hell?
prevent Templeton parties. That would be better. That's always better. Templeton parties.
Then those crazy accusations
It
want
happens
to
every single election
send.
year. You have more than 1,000 baby oil, but you even have wanting the entire
Can we please move to the
election
next
results over and
question?
over again.
Can we please move to the next question? But more about
You
policy
make people
and
pretend you
less about
president and
craziness
do rude stuff with them.
That Mr. Zeldin is trying to do.
I saw it
Okay.
happen.
All right, so we are going to move on. How would you both ensure that welfare benefits are given to the American people? Eleanor Templeton, you have 30 seconds now. Go ahead.
Well, the welfare should be benefited to the American people
Yes, master.
they have when they have when they are be given equal opportunities. Look, I would rebuild an economy that will not just benefit for the top 1%, but also for everyone. And the welfare that should be given to the American people, that is what I will focus first as president.
And
Can I leave a bottle, please?
are you having a stroke? What's going on, Zeldin? You have 30 seconds. What's going on?
Okay. Templeton. Again. I just found something else again. After the FBI waited, they found your files again. About to tell you because if they find all the things in your mansion you cooked, buddy, no more Templeton parties. They might find the list. I might even tell them, guys, I will publicly tell you every name on the Templeton parties list. Trust.
Okay, and Owen, question: are you going to answer the question, or are you just going to blot around the question? Do you have a plan for the American people when it comes to delivering welfare benefits and making sure no one is stuck in the benefits dry who does not belong on welfare?
I think welfare should realistically stay the same. There's nothing really that bad about it.
Is that
But
because you're on
my family's poor, so yeah.
that explains your presidential campaign and why you want to cut Templeton nutsack off? Are you trying to sell his nutsack in the dark market?
No, I'm just trying to know. I'm just trying to prevent any more Templeton parties. I will all the people on the list. Oh my god, A lot of horror stories. Imagine day parties, Epstein Island combined times 11. She makes people forced to pretend she won the Democrat primary and won the election, and she says, "Say yes, President to me."
Okay, and so you're boring as hell. So moving on. Eleanor Templeton, we want to know, the American people want to know, would you run as third party if you lose Florida?
If I lose Florida or don't come second in that primary, then sadly to say that I will not
The
run for
Templeton
third
party will
party.
start.
Hey, Mr. Zeldin, you answered
Mr.
your
Templeton,
questions, but you answered your questions, but distracted from policy. I answered the questions on policy and platform, and at the same time, I will spare no time. I will spend no time asking your concerns and your beliefs.
Okay, and Owen, your time to respond.
yeah, guys, kind of being muted, but yeah, chat. Templeton, we all know you're gonna do the Templeton 2000 Templeton party. Everyone in the area of Florida, when the Templeton party starts, GG's chat. Do not, because every single year it happens. Every single year. I have war stories of it.
Would you like to explain some of these stories? Because you talk about some random pirate and something random thing out a stroke as I listen to you. Would you like to explain in clear detail what happened? You said you had a lot of horror stories, but based on what you were telling everybody, you gave us horror by listening to your voice. Would you like to actually explain in detail what actually happened?
So, basically, every single year in Florida, not every single year, every single election that Templeton loses, she does these Templeton parties, which there'll be a list of Templeton supporters, which is usually not that much, but then she gets like people she meets at the Diddy party and people from Epstein. So they hire other candidate. They get little kids, and then they force the kids to pretend they Templeton's the president, and then they do weird stuff to the kids. Plus, they do weird stuff to each other. There's like 1,000 baby oils. Also, there's like an entire thing of celebration of um Templeton existing for some reason. I don't know. It's weird because every single election that happens, I think it's planned out. I think she just knows she's gonna lose and she does this for fun. It's like a third thing to do with all the pedophiles.
Okay, we're moving on. Your point is how you keep repeating the same line, so we're moving on. All right, so back to that question.
May I rebut for a moment?
Sure, go ahead.
Well, he says some crazy random things about me. He said that I
I
have to
saw it.
have some Templeton parties, and say that I pretend that I am the master. Well, that is completely false. Lee Zeldin wants you to use me to distract from the real issues and real policies that Americans face. And I am not living in some glorious mansions or whatsoever, but I will remain a humble servant to the people of the United States of America.
Okay, anything else you guys have to say?
Let's go to the next question, chat.
Okay, we shall go to the next question. Eleanor, do members of the Klan need to be deported?
Do members of what particular clan exactly, Miss Tarrant?
The KKK!
The Ku Klux Klan?
Yes, the
Well,
one you're part of, yes.
well, I am not a part of the Ku Klux Klan. The Ku Klux Klan is a terrorist organization designed to spread fear and hatred
Hold on.
against the
According to the
American
United
people.
States past history, they have never designated the KKK as a designated domestic terrorist organization. If anything, it's embraced the terrorist organization itself. Instead, are you saying that you have plans to designate the KKK as a national terrorist organization?
Yes, I will designate the Ku Klux Klan as a terrorist organization because all they did was spread white nationalism and hatred in the name of their extremist religious views.
Zeldin?
Templeton, do you support the Cool Kids Club? Yes or no?
Guys, come on.
Just asking.
You can talk
I'm
about
just asking.
let's move on to actual things that people want to actually hear. Come up with new stuff. I don't want to hear the whole rehash thing again. This is not the same town hall 3 times in a row.
Fine. But I don't support the KKK. But
Are you part of the KKK, Owen?
no, I am not.
Are you part of the Little Boys Club?
The Cool Kids Club, yeah.
What's the Little Boys Club? The one that Eleanor likes, apparently, according to you.
I'm not in that section. I'm not in not the that little boys club. But I am in
Okay, so if you
different
are
types of.
considered a little boy, are you considered a little boy, right? Are you yes or no?
Yeah, because I'm a teenager.
Okay.
Teenager.
Now, do you ever find yourself ever running from a guy named John Wayne Gacy? I heard he liked little boys, and you classified yourself as a little boy. Tonight, John Wayne Gacy might try to come up and run behind you. What would you do?
Dang. I would run and probably hide, man.
Now, what
I
if
don't want to
John Wayne
be.
Gacy was actually just Templeton in a mask?
That would make so much sense. And again, I would hide and then tell everyone about it. And then when I get in control, probably again lock her up, which she should be locked up.
Yeah, but you say you tell everybody about it, but every time everyone listens to you, they have a godzillion strokes.
It's because of what I sound like. I'm sorry, I can't really control that.
Well, yeah, absolutely, that's right. But when we ask you about detail, you sound like somebody shot holding you underwater in a toilet and you're trying to speak.
It's probably because of my phone. Chat. Because my phone is a Walmart phone.
Real story from you. I hope we can get the real story from you. We want to really know the truth. Our news network is embraced in truth and honesty. And we need to know, little boy, what really happened that night between you and Eleanor.
When she went to my house.
Well, you said you have horror stories. At least start talking.
Okay, chill. Well, there was multiple times when she took me to the dirty party, when she tried to do weird stuff to me for some reason. She wanted to have my child still. That's crazy. She literally went outside my window. Licked. I forgot. She actually licked the dog's privates. While looking at me in a weird face. Even when I called the cops, she just magically disappeared, and then like the entire yesterday, I just saw out my window in my closet, whole licking duck nuts, and look at me.
Okay, I can't hear that. This is garbage. You sound. Oh, I can't.
It's because of my Walmart phone.
No, it's because you don't know how to tell a story.
Sorry.
You better be sorry.
Can I rebut for a moment? Can I rebut for a moment? Well, yes, I have found some baby oil, but that is to distribute them to the poor and the needy in some hospitals
Lame
around
excuse.
the country, not in Diddy parties, which you are accused of, Mr. Zeldin. Can we please move on?
You brought me to them.
Templeton, I want to ask you. You just said that you actually found baby oil in your house and you were giving them away. Why do you have so many baby oils in your home that you can just randomly gift them? Would you like to explain what you were really doing with baby oil? why you have so many?
Well, I have to do some baby oil because they should be distributed to hospitals. They should be
A
distributed to
thousand.
drug stores. They should be given to pharmacies, not some sort of Diddy parties and Templeton parties that Mr. Zeldin is accused of. And I have never been involved in any Diddy party.
Okay,
Look,
but
look.
okay,
Trust
but
me.
would you like to explain to the American people what medicinal properties that having baby oil in your home foretell? And are you trying to falsely distribute drugs to the American people and to the American consumerism, especially in a pharmaceutical company, when you're not even registered with a pharmaceutical license to be able to legally be distributing baby oil?
Look, I do not support I do not support heroin and some anything that would destroy the minds of our youth. But with some baby oil, that is should be distributed to the hospitals, to the laboratories, to drugstores, and
They
to
said baby.
pharmaceutical companies. But what I would do is I would stop price gouging on insulin and other life-saving drugs because just for the American people, healthcare should be a right, not an option. Healthcare should be a God given right for everyone. And I would make
God given
healthcare
right.
more affordable to everyone.
Dalton, would you like to respond to this very weird response?
Yeah, she's just trying to make an excuse with the 1,000 baby oils bottles. She's realistically just trying to dodge the question, kind of like the skeletons in the closet until she gets exposed, and then she will apologize 1,000 times. Also, Templeton, Duck said, "Is the wedding still on though?" Just wanted to tell you if you couldn't read the question, not the question, but the person who's you said you would marry the animal, and then you retracted. So
Can we please move on to the next question again?
okay.
Tarot, can we please move on to the next question?
Yes,
This
it's
is
that
more
I
of a distraction
okay.
to the policy.
Owen, shut up. Owen, what qualifies you to be president?
Vice president.
Whatever.
Well, well, technically, I have experience because I am in prior to the change, I was a senator. Also, technically, I'm also a congressperson. Um, I went for office many times, and I just have experience because I was also a good senator. And plus, I think also running as a VP candidate in 2032, I also have VP experience. I didn't win, but we didn't win, but I have experience being on the ticket and also being experience of a political leader. Plus, I have past jobs too.
Wow, that's a terrible resume. Oh no, Templeton, go ahead.
Well, what qualifies me is that before in this server, I became an attorney general for the
No one's
state of
asking about you,
Florida.
Templeton. The question was not about you. It was asking about what qualifies Owen Haley to be president.
What qualifies Owen Haley as president? Well, his rants, ramblings, and crazy conspiracies about me made him more qualified to be president because he can freely lie to the American people. Is that what the American people want?
Freely tell
Someone
the
who
truth.
rants and ramble? Well, I am telling the truth, Mr. Zeldin.
You're telling a
Can we
lie
please
about me,
move on
but
to the
okay.
next question? Can we please move on to the next question,
That
Parrot?
yeah, okay. Let's go move on to the next question
Yes,
because that's
okay,
the only thing you can say.
okay. What are your opinions on abortion? Eleanor Templeton, you go first.
Mr. Zeldin, let me tell you about abortion. Abortion should be safe, legal, and rare. And the decisions made for a woman to choose her own decisions in her own body should not only be given to herself, but also to the advice of medical professionals and medical experts, doctors, nurses, abortion providers, women. They have the right to choose their own decisions, not misogynists, not extremists, and not religious zealots.
What if you had a baby with a minor? Would you still keep the baby? Yes or no?
It will be up for a woman to decide.
Uh, weird question. But
Okay, next question it is.
no, I didn't talk about my stance.
Okay, then go ahead.
Okay, I support abortion in case of the mother, incest, and in case of the mother, incest, and wait, all the cases abortion is not needed unless you have a baby with a minor or a baby with an animal.
Okay, and moving on to the next question. All right. How would you help us build stronger relations with our enemies? May one of you respond?
Can you please repeat the question?
Yes. How would you help us to, okay, excuse me. How would you allow the United States to build a stronger relationship with our enemies?
Enemies like China,
I
Russia,
don't
or
care.
something?
Just explain how you'll do it.
Well, we need to ensure diplomatic relations, not just to our allies, but to our enemies as well. And so we need a a summit, and so we will hold talks for codifying peace. And if China or Russia continues their aggression, then we would continue to support with our allies. But if it is enemies like China or Russia wants to interfere with the American way of life, then we will defend it at all costs. Because the Constitution said, support and defend against all
So you
enemies,
support World War
foreign
Three?
and domestic.
I'm just asking. They can probably support.
Okay, Zeldin, would you like to respond?
Yeah, I think we should stay closer with allies, not our enemies, because the enemies are gonna try to betray us at any point. We already know that they are only trying to get more countries. They don't care about having peace. They care about having their way. Russia, China, any enemy to the United States, they don't like the United States. They hate the United States. They want to erase the United States. They don't want to make deals with us. They just want to get more things like Iran and get more stuff from us and then use it against us. We should be stronger with our allies. So anytime something bad happens, that's why we have NATO. If anything bad happens, we can defeat the enemies. We should be not cuddling up with the enemies. Enemies.
And would you like to rebuke that, Templeton, or no?
Please move to the next question because we both agree that we need NATO to defend against all enemies, foreign and
I
domestic.
said no, it's different because you said you would want to work with um the enemies. I said I wanted to stay closer with allies and not closer with the enemies like you said. So yeah.
Mr. Zeldin, Mr. Zeldin, Mr.
Mr.
Zeldin.
Templeton,
If
Mr.
there are
Templeton.
enemies, if there are any enemies like Russia or China who wants to betray America, then it is our duty to protect not just our country but with our allies against
That's what I said.
all foreign and domestic enemies. So please move to the next question, if you will.
Okay, we shall move on to the next question. If you both had one nice thing to say to each other, what would it be? Templeton, you first.
Well, if I have one nice thing to say to Mr. Zeldin is that he supports electoral reform because the electoral college was designed to to put to specifically stifle the will of the people. And so what I am going to do if I were president is I will uncap the House of Representatives from 435 to whatever to an even higher number so it reflects the growing population. And also we need to introduce ranked choice voting in some states. If some refuse it, they can stick to first past the post. But if they agree with it, then it should be started first in the local levels.
Okay, and Owen, what did you have to say?
The one good thing she does is she never quits and keeps on running no matter what, even if she loses by a large margin.
Okay, would you guys like to rebuttal or even on each other's responses?
No need, no need. Can we please move on?
All right, well, moving on. What are the top goals for when you enter office? What are your top goals? Name your top 5 or 6 goals. Owen, you go first.
Okay, top 5. God. Low taxes. Low, no. Electoral reform. And, releasing all files no matter what. Releasing, oh yeah, castration pedals or, locking them up to a public, not public execution, death execution. And for 5th, it's campaign finance reform, basically.
Okay, that just sounds like a whole for every list you tried to. Okay, Eleanor Templeton, what would be your goals if you were to become president? What would you do?
Well, here are my goals if I were president of the United States. Rebuilding an economy not to benefit the one, not only to the 1%, but also for everyone. Investing in clean energy, free school breakfast and lunches to every child across the country, stronger electoral reform, and an end to corruption in the criminal justice system, and also balancing between Second Amendment rights and comprehensive gun safety reform. Those are my 5 goals if I were president of the United States, and I will do so not just in 100 days, but in the whole year as well.
Okay, and anybody else?
Those are my top 5 goals.
Oh yeah, okay, I wasn't listening. Anyway, we're gonna move on to the last couple questions we have here. Oh, we have the last question. What are your opinions on LGBTQ rights? You know, the rainbow.
Well, let me tell to the American people about LGBTQIA2 plus rights. We are all God's children, and we
Finally,
love
said it
no
right.
matter what gender. Lesbians, straight, gay, bisexuals, transgender, queer, intersex, asexual, two-spirit, any type of gender, any type of identity. We should love one another. We should lift each other up, not tear each other down. And so if I were president, I will ensure that same-sex marriage should be legalized in every state across America within the first or second term. And if that doesn't help, then maybe in the next 10 to 15 years. But I am sure and I am certain that with the help of the American people, we will ensure that stigma and discrimination against LGBTQIA plus individuals will be thrown out the window and replacing it with love, courage, tolerance, kindness, and respect.
Okay, and Owen, would you like to respond?
I support LGBTQIA too with the two. I believe everything's good, but the only thing I don't support for the LGBTQIA like is if they support adding map because a lot of people are believing map and zoo files are believing they are part of LGBTQIA too.
Okay, but also you are accentuating a fear into those who don't know or not aware of LGBTQ community. You're saying that the LGBT community are actually engaging in behavior that welcome maps into
No, they don't welcome it. It's just maps and zoo files think they are part of it, which they are definitely not.
well, then why
As
would you associate
no,
that?
I'm just
You
mentioning
back
how
to
horrible those two groups
people
are. They
to
shouldn't be a part of
ensure
LGBTQ plus.
why not just educate people, just tell them the difference between LGBTQ plus people and maps? Why would you just merge two?
Listen, I am a part of LGBTQ, but I'm saying this: the difference between them is one is all about you can do basically anything, but it's expressing yourself. But maps, it's minor attracted person. You like minors, and then zoophiles, you like your animal. That doesn't make sense, and there should be never included a part of the entire group. It shouldn't be. It should be condemned, and I think it already is. And it should not even be a thing. There should be never a thing called MAP. There should be nothing, not even a community with MAP and zoophiles existing in the world. That just doesn't make sense.
Okay, and Templeton, would you like to rebuttal, or are we moving on? Well, we're going to our closing statement.
Well, I have to give a rebuttal. What I oppose to the LGBTQIA plus community is I oppose conversion therapy and I oppose those made by the extremists to stigmatize LGBTQIA plus community.
You
So
oppose
what you are
zoophiles
saying, what you are
and
saying, you want to eliminate maps and zoo files like that. That is shameful and that
yes,
is
because
unbecoming of becoming that is unbecoming of president.
zoophiles like
You should
they
love,
like to
you
do real
should
stuff to
love,
animals.
you should love your neighbor as you should love yourself. That
I
is the
do, but
maxim.
if
That is
they
the
do real
maxim
stuff to
being
their dog, I
stated
don't
in the
support that.
Bible, and and we should tolerate one another. We'll proceed with the closing.
So I should support. No, wait. I should support my neighbor if he likes little kids and drives a white van, and I should support another neighbor if they like to do weird stuff to their fish, cat, dog. Does that make sense?
You should read the Bible. You should love your neighbor as you should love yourself.
So you would love your neighbor if they was caught giving kids free candy in a white van. Do you still love your neighbor?
Can we proceed to the closings, please, Tarot? Because
You
Mr.
won't answer the
Zeldin is
question.
trying to distract us from
No,
policies
I'm
and
just trying to
platforms.
tell you
He's
that doesn't
distracted
make
from
sense.
policies and platforms, not he's trying
Templeton,
to
that
distract
doesn't
us
make
from
sense.
policies and platforms.
You won't answer the question. We understand. You're too scared to answer that.
I already answered the question. You should love your neighbor as you should love yourself.
So
Mr.
you would
Zeldin,
love
you
your
must learn
neighbor
this.
if they
You must
drive a
learn.
white van
You must
picking up
learn.
candy,
You must learn that in
picking
the
up little
Bible,
kids.
Mr. Zeldin. Mr.
So you
Zeldin,
support
you
them
must.
doing real stuff to the ducks.
You
You
should love
support
your
that.
neighbor as you should love
Okay,
yourself.
so you will love your
Mr.
neighbor if they
Zeldin,
do real stuff to the dog.
Mr. Zeldin, Mr. Zeldin, you should love your
Templeton,
neighbor
Templeton,
as you should love yourself. Mr. Zeldin, we moved on from
Templeton.
that. Can we, Tara, can we please move on with the closing?
You tried to get a duck pregnant. Yep, silence.
Okay, Templeton, an argument.
Tarot, why don't you let Lee Zeldin first, and then we'll go with mine. Is that okay with you?
Sure, go ahead. Zeldin, you first.
In this debate, we done a lot. We found out she loves her neighbor no matter what, even if it's a zoophile or not. We also understand that she doesn't want pedophiles to go to hell, no matter what. She only believes she believes they should go to heaven. She believes evil people who want to do evil stuff to other people, unless they murdered them, they shouldn't go to heaven. We've shown a lot, and Templeton's anger issues almost happened multiple times. She almost crashed out. Thankfully, she didn't. But yeah, vote with reform to prevent this nonsense.
Templeton, you go.
Well, we have heard from Mr. Zeldin. Now let me ask yourselves the question. What kind of a future are we believing in? Do we support
Do you support
conspiracy theories?
zoophiles and pedophiles? Vote Templeton. If you do not support that, vote reform.
If you support the status quo, if you want to divide us even further, then vote for people like Lee Zeldin. He wants to
Not the
distract
status
us
quo.
from the
Reform has
issues
no.
that
The status
he
quo is the
wants to distract
Democrats
us
and the
from the
Republicans.
issues at
We want
hand.
to end the other
He
party.
wants
You
to
don't.
distract us from the issues at hand. He wants to distract us from the issues at hand.
Like you supporting
Zeldin, Sister Zeldin,
Templeton.
let me finish. Let me finish.
Okay, let me
Let me finish.
let you.
Mr. Zeldin distracted us from the real issues at hand. Would you trust him if he continues to rant, ramble, and do some crazy nonsense? Would that help you and your
People
family?
insulting anyone.
If you don't like the craziness and the conspiracy theories, then vote for our campaign, which I promise you, I will govern for all of America, whether you wanted to vote for me or not. And we have seen in the debate. I answered questions about policy and platform. He answered questions ranting, rambling, and doing some conspiracy theories. You'll be the judge of it. And even if both of us don't get the nomination, we will ensure that we will govern for the sake of America.
All right. Thank you for spending time with us. We really appreciate it. Have a great night. And we'll all hope to have you back on again. Thank you, Templeton and Owen. Have a great night.